Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's time for another... Oh, my posture, it's all wrong. Oh yeah, that's better. So welcome back to the channel, and it's time for another video. In the last video we got the drum brakes sorted out and the handbrake, and in this video, touch wood, we're going to get the front calipers sorted out, and maybe by the end we'll have a fully working braking system. I've rebuilt the calipers using a rebuild kit from Big Red, which included new set of pistons and new seals. Installed all that, really straightforward. When we bled the rear brakes, it was okay. But with the front calipers, I think there's a problem with the bleed screws. So the bleed screws weren't in the rebuild kit. These just what was on the calipers before I dismantled them. So I've got some replacement bleed screws, and we can fit those and try and bleed the front brakes. And if we're successful with that, we can move the thing out when it stops chucking it down with rain and see if we've got a brake pedal. Should also point out that Agnetha's got a new brake master cylinder. Here it is. It's not a like-for-like replacement because they're not manufactured, haven't been manufactured for decades. You can get reconditioned ones, but it's for me it's just very, very expensive, and I'd have to send the old one back to the UK and get the new one in, and I don't want to wait 6 months because that's pretty much what the round trip time is at the moment between Poland and the UK with customs and everything. So this is actually the same kind of pump you'd find on a Ford Escort RS2000 Mark II, and it just so happens it has exactly the same fittings as on the Allegro. It also has the same bore and stroke, so that means that the brake pedal should feel as if it were a genuine master cylinder. The issue is if you get the bore and stroke wrong, it's either going to feel like you're pressing on a block of wood or your foot's going to go straight through to the floor. So you want something that's just right, you know? So on paper at least this should work, and I've heard anecdotally people have put them on Allegros and it's been okay. What you have to remember though is that these have a little surprise in them. Underneath there's a place to put a bleed screw, which could be quite useful, but it's underneath, and if like me you fit this and you think, oh yes, I better remember to put a bleed screw on that before I start filling it with brake fluid, you're going to forget when you do fill it with brake fluid, and you'll make an enormous mess, as I did at the weekend. But I found an old bleed screw because I'm never going to actually bleed it here. Stuck it in there and it's fine. And down here we've got the new flexi lines, new hard lines all the way through, and the discs are the same discs that were on before because they're not actually that worn. There is a bit of pitting on them, so we'll see how that goes, if it buffs out or not with a Scouse service. You can get new discs for Allegros, but I think they're made to order, so they're pretty expensive. So we'll see if these ones pass muster first. New shoes, or blocks, whatever they're called, and then this is the piston where we've got the new thingy bobs from Big Red inside and the new seals. All that seems to be fine except the bleed screws. And what's happening is nothing is coming through the bleed screw, which suggests it's blocked. And I stuck a bit of wire in there, and yeah, it's just full of rust and wax oil, so that's not going to help. But the other thing that happens is when I crack the screw loose, immediately fluid starts to leak out the sides. And as the master cylinder's on this side, because it's a foreign car, that means that we should bleed the passenger side first. So we've got the air compressor and the bleed kit, and first thing to do then is change that bleed screw and give it a go. One more thing before we really get started. The keynos in the audience might have spotted that the dust shields are missing, and they're not missing, they're here. I forgot to put them on, and to put them on you have to take the whole swivel arm thing off. I'm not going to do that now, but I have to do it at some point because there's wheel bearings to do, ball joints, steering rack, all that sort of stuff. So these will just go on later. The most important thing now is to see that we've got a working brake system. Sorry. Now the new one. Well, it fits and it's not leaking, but does it actually work? Just crack it open. Yeah, it's just coming out the top, but it's not coming out the sides. Alright. So they were just worn out and they were blocked. It's going to get a bit noisy. Pipe split open. I've only used this a couple of times. Fucking hell. I'm not having that. We're so close. Bloody airline splits. Well, that was unexpected. It's just a slow leak, so we'll manage for now, but I will have to just buy a new airline, I guess. So you remember when I say down, you press it down like that, yeah, and then hold it. When I say up, let it go. Cool. Here we go. Down, up, down, up, down, up. All right, one done. Can you turn the steering wheel all the way to the left? All the way? Yeah. All the way until you hear a knock and it won't move. That's it. I keep putting my spanner down and forgetting where I put it. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's it. Thank you so much.
Why is it so comfortable?
Because modern cars are trash.
Literally.
Just
I don't know.
shove it with your bum. That's it.
Yep.
So as soon as I decide to use the bleed kit, the airline on my air compressor just splits wide open, and it was pulling the brake fluid through, but it always seemed like there was lots of just air in it. But I think it was just because it wasn't really pulling on it hard enough, so you just had this kind of trickle down the pipe. So I just use the resources that are available to me, so I asked my daughter very kindly if she would help me with the old-fashioned method. So she got on the brake pedal and 5 pumps, 6 pumps each, and it was all clear. So all the brakes are bled. Is it time to put the wheels on and roll it out and try it? I seem to be losing patience. Okay. Ooh. Still in gear. Yeah. Got your seatbelt on? Come on, old girl. Aha. You can do it. Come on, girl. All right, we know. Try that again. Entirely convincing. Sort of works. Let's try it forwards. There's definitely braking there. We'll try that again. doing something. There's brakes there, but it's very soft, and the idle is much higher than it normally is. So we could still have some air in the lines, and or the servo is leaking somewhere, and that might be why the idle is a bit higher. But I'm definitely feeling braking, just have to really push the pedal in. So I'm going to have a look at the servo. That idle is definitely a lot higher than it used to be. Let's just go forward a bit. I don't know. I have another theory. Bit of headlight wiper action there for you at the end. It's been a long time. Speaking of wipers, I've replaced the reservoir and the pump for the screen wash, for the windscreen washer, and I've managed to salvage one of these original Lucas pumps. Just needed to fill it full of WD-40 and spin it with a drill for a while. So this headlight wiper washer system is pretty much original, and it also would have had a big old bucket like that. Oh, the strap's gone. That's less than ideal. And in the boot I've also put one of those same screen wash kits, so all of the squirties work now. For example, okay, well, they just seem to go over the roof more than anything. Maybe they can be adjusted. So I'm going to say the brakes are working, probably not optimal, but I think there's we did have some problems with the bleed valves, and I didn't re-bleed the rear drums, so maybe it just all needs a good re-bleeding at some point, bleeding brakes. And it also might just be the fact that I don't have any other classic cars. I'm more used to the Qashqai and the BMW and Ford Focuses, and you know, you only have to breathe on the brake pedal and the whole thing stops. So maybe I just need to exercise my foot a bit more. We'll see. Anyway, for those MOT warriors out there, don't panic. This will have to go for a proper test before it goes back on the road, and they know all the parameters for the Allegro, so don't worry, it has to be tested first. If there's a problem, we'll fix it. Anyway, so with the brakes kind of getting there, it begs the question, what next to get this car back on the road after its many decades of not being on the road? And there are some jobs that are pretty big, but it's only a handful. So I think the next thing to do is the suspension. So we need to get the hydrogas displacers sorted out. They'll all be depleted of gas, or they might be broken. So we have to look at getting them regassed and or replaced. And then we need a new exhaust, so that'll have to be custom built somewhere, but there's no shortage of places around here where they can make you an exhaust. and there is some welding to do, and then as long as everything still works by that point, it should be ready for a test. And it couldn't come soon enough because we're approaching the 2nd anniversary of getting this car back on the road, and it's been an uphill struggle all the way, but what a struggle. So all that remains for this one is to put the car back in the garage and edit the video. So thanks for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers. We're now over 100, which is about 80 or 90 more than I expected, so thanks for that. And thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.